As of recording this, I think we are 4-5 weeks away from my local games workshop shops Armies on Parade, which I'm determined to do this year. I meant to have done it last year with my gits, and yeah, things just conspired against me, and it never happened. So if you've been following my Slaanesh builds over the last year, you will have heard me say that it's all building up to Armies on Parade, and the final jigsaw piece in my army is the actual Keeper of Secrets here. Everything has been leading up to this model. The last one that I did was that version you might have seen, the Shalaxi Hellblade version, but no, everything was building up to this one. So it's come. I've got about 4 or 5 weeks to build it. Shouldn't be too bad because, you know, I've had dry runs and rehearsals. So looking forward to it. This is the way I'm going to do it. This is the options that I'm going to have. And I have it in mind after doing Shalaxi what to do colour scheme wise, because I'm not going to have them wearing the same outfit because they're going to be side by side with each other on my Armies on Parade board. Speaking of which, let's give you a shot of what I'm up to at the moment. This looks all decidedly dodgy if you've got a particularly smutty mind. So what this is a 2x2 piece of foam board. You know, your army board is 2x2 or less. And what I have done is I've got out my whole army and laid them all out. And as I laid them out, once I was happy with the position they were in, I drew around their bases, all right? And then took a photo, and I'm glad about that because I wouldn't be able to remember what ones go where. So in this, at the end of this video, I'll lay it all out and you'll see it all for yourself. But yeah, I've got different units here. You can see here, we've got square bases. It's going to be a real mix and match through the history of Slaanesh. And at the very back there, you can see the 2 round bases. This is for Shalaxi's going here, and my new Keeper of Secrets is going there. And yeah, what you've got here, this rather dodgy looking stuff, it's just hot glue. I'm getting through an awful lot of hot glue sticks, but what I'm basically doing is just dribble hot glue around like so until I have got round all of the bases. Missed one there, I've still got to do that one there. And then, and this is the bit I'm doing at the moment, I'm starting from the inside out, is just fill it all in, because this is all going to be entrails or a bit of hentai tentacle work going on. Haven't got a clue how I'm going to paint it. I've got ideas, but I don't know how effective it's going to be. I've never done this. I've done this method before when I made a Tyrannid drop pod, which was one of those big plastic Easter eggs which I covered in the stuff, but I've never done it to this extent. And as I say, I'm getting through an awful lot of hot glue sticks, but I'm going to be cracking on with this. When there's an update, I think once this is done and I've got a bit of primer on, or if I've decided to put contrast straight over, I'll come back with that one. Just as I found with Shalaxi, it's going to be a lot easier to actually paint everything in sub-assemblies. So just as I did with Shalaxi, I've put everything together with blue tack. All right. In fact, it's got a droopy tail. Yeah, so I've blue tacked many of the parts together just for the priming stage. And here we are with white primer. As I said when I was doing the Shalaxi one, I don't want Shalaxi and the Keeper of Secrets to look too similar. You know, they share the same legs, they share the same torso, everything else is different. But I'm going to do what I can to try and make that look a bit different, all right, which I'll be detailing with the colour schemes. But this first initial stage, it's very similar. I thought they shared the same basic cloak, and then Shalaxi just has an extra bit. I don't think that is the case. This bit here is different to that one, I think. Yeah, it is. It is. All right. But same thing though, this is just blue tacked on, because now what I've got to do is actually remove that. And the reason for doing that, here it comes, off it comes, is I need to paint the back of the cloak first, because there's no way, if you look at the finished shellaxy, how the heck are you supposed to get in there and paint in all that? All right. So that comes off. First job is paint the back of the cloak and the stockings. All right. And exactly the same with shellaxy. The head is only blue tacked on, and the 2-part shoulder area is just blue tacked on. All right. So even though I want them to look different, the process is going to be exactly the same. I thought they shared the same pincers, big claw things, but they're not. These are slightly different too. In fact, I can show you here. You look at all the jewels and everything that's on shellaxes coming off the armour. There's none of that. All right, so they've got completely different claws. All right, different headdresses, but I'm again painting it on the sprues. I'll detail how I'm doing different colour schemes as I go. Shellaxy, Keeper of Secrets has this big sword as opposed to shellaxy's big left hand, the ritual knife I've chosen to go for. Yeah, and also I didn't realise, because I've never seen one of these type Keeper of Secrets in the flesh. See that black thing behind its head? This is a collar. That's the inside of it, and that's the outside, which sits up in there. And of course, yeah, if I glue the head on, I'm not going to be able to get to it. So off with its head, like so. I'm decapitating on YouTube. And yeah, then there's the outer cloak, which I've kept on the sprue and kept this together. This is going to be very delicate. Once I've cut these internal braces out, that's going to be very delicate. So I'm just going to paint that first and then cut it all out, and I'll do a small touch up afterwards. So yeah, first thing to do, inside of the inner cloak and the stockings. And as I say, I absolutely do not want to repeat what I've done on shellaxy. So with shellaxy, I did that that lovely green for the inside of the cloak. So I've got to do something against that or away from that. And this is 2 coats of shyish purple. So I'm umming and ahhing. I know what I'm going to do with the Keeper of Secrets with the armour, but the cloaks I want black, or a form of black. But if I have the stockings to black, everything's going to blur together. So I'm thinking maybe the inside of the cloak actually go for the blue that's on the outside, do on the inside. But I'm still thinking that's going to look too much like shellaxes. I don't know. I've got to think about this. One thing I do know is Keeper of Secrets will not have all the gold. The Keeper of Secrets is going to have silver, no red jewels, maybe green. I haven't decided on that, but yeah, I'll come back when painting is underway. When I was doing my shellaxy build, I said that this is a rehearsal for the final version, and that the final version's colour scheme, skin tone, would be a lot lighter than the one for shellaxy. And the reason I said that was because of what I wanted to kind of like emulate what I'd done with my original Keeper of Secrets, which I seem to remember was just Screaming Skull, basically. But I was very happy with how this colour scheme came out. So I'm doing the same. So that's the Rakarth flesh, dry brushed with pallid witch flesh, and then I've mixed up a brown black mix, very, very watery, and then sloshed it on and quickly dabbed it off with cotton buds. So the next step there is to just go into, you know, all the fleshy bits between the fingers, in the folds of the skin and around things with thinned down Drucci Violet. That will get me basically what I had there. Yeah, cloaks. This is the inner cloak, almost done. What I'm trying to do is, again, just do things different to what I did with old Shalaxi there. So that's the inner cloak. This is the inside of the outer cloak, which I'm happy with, but I'm thinking it's going to be an awful lot too much like what I'm going to be doing the claws. So I don't know if I'm going to darken that down or darken the claws. I haven't made my mind up yet. All right. And then, yeah, because Shalaxi is all gold, Keeper of Secrets is going to be all silver. All right. So that's where, oh, let's have a look at her, or him, or them. See, that shows you the skin tone. I mean, I'm happy with it enough as it is, but no, this is Slaanesh, so you've got to have a bit of a purpley, lilac-y tint to things. All right. Oh yeah, and the other thing is, just like with Shalaxi, because the cloak comes down and is almost touching the ground, I'm having to put on the scattered material and paint the ground before I attach anything cloak-like on. All right. So we have, excuse me, we have lilac down in all the folds and around the edges of things, which has tinted things subtly. Continuing with the silver jewellery that's going to be everywhere. On Shalaxi it was gold with red jewels, so everywhere else is, on this one is going to be silver with blue jewels. Here it's black Templar contrast for the forearm protectors. Here it's shyish purple. Just doing everything I can to, you know, change the colours around. Yeah, done the base, well, the back half of the base where the cape's going to be. So that's all good to go. And also good to go, we have the armour, the body armour, and this is going to be radically different because on Shalaxi it was black Templar over silver. This time I'm using that turquoise. So it's going to be a bit different, a Keeper of Secrets that's not black or red or purple, but green. Green's my favourite colour, and I really do want it to be different from that one. So green for go for green, whatever. I think we're one video away from the end. Everything's coming together now, as you can see. I've put the jewellery on the sides. I was umming and ahhing about the colour of the jewellery. That's a blue, and it's quite close to the turquoise that I'm doing the armour. But no, I'm okay with it. This lower skirt area is on, as is the tail, as you can see. Face is almost done. Put some nice gloss varnish on the black eyes. Wash the bronzy bits. Just doing some work on the antler cover things. All right. And yeah, turquoise. So I've decided to go a bit unusual just to make the Keeper stand out a bit. So this is that Pterodon turquoise over silver, just to give some natural highlights on that, make that stand out a bit. Sorry about the sniffing. Which I've also repeated on this neck collar thing to make it metallic. But the other side of it is straight over the white. All right. And I've done the same here. And again, colour scheme for the jewels. Here is that blue, which is a bit close to that, but I'm okay with it. And what about the jewels on this part? I did them black, and it was just too dull. So I've painted them white. I'm going to paint them silver, and I'm going to do a purple on there. I know it's going to be close to what the claws are doing, but this will be a metallic purple for purple jewels. The ritual knife is pretty much done. Put some Tamiya clear red on the top for the jewel. So that's ready to be stuck on. But the big main weapon that the keeper has is this sword. And as you see, I've gone through the shades of metallics up to the brightest silver I've got. And that's because next I'm going to put Black Templar over the top, a black contrast to give it a black metallic. This is going to be a black sword. All right, so that's pretty much it. Oh, I've got to do the fingernails, I've just noticed as well. Got to do the fingernails and then finish off the painting and then assemble everything. So I will be back with it done. There we go. All done, all finished. Had great fun doing this one, and it was much quicker to do this one. The trial run and rehearsal with Shellaxy, where I was experimenting with skin tones, etc., has really paid off. This one's a bit pinker than Shellaxy, but there we go. All done and in plenty of time. All right, so chuffed how that's come out. So yeah, that was my final character for my Armies on Parade. I showed you earlier the me starting the Armies on Parade board. Well, here it is. I'm almost at the primer stage, and basically what you got here is about it must be over 50 hot glue sticks dribbled all round where I've marked where the models are going to be, and I didn't go right to the front because the models are going to be in these areas with soil on the bases, and that's a bit jarring to have these like tentacles and then that, right? So I've left some of the spaces and put in the same scattered material, so you can see the tentacles are actually over regular ground, and where the troops all are, they're just like the tentacles have moved out the way for them. All right, so this is the end of this video diary, but it's not the end of doing that. If you want to see how it came out, because I don't know how it's going to come out, I mean, painting that is going to be a challenge. If you want to see just how this came out, if you don't already, follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Look for Mr. E Models. Well, same as here, isn't it? What am I talking about? Yeah, if you follow me there, there'll be a final shot of it, all painted up with my army all ready to go.